Hello, kia ora, namaste, maluelele, bulavanaka, talofalava, and welcome to the 2022 New Zealand Heritage Hockey Tournament, coming to you live from the beautiful Kolmar Sports Centre in Papatoetoe, Auckland. I am Brad Pittman, and we'll be bringing you all the action here from the pivotal Day 3 here, Easter Sunday in New Zealand. Day 3 is moving day here at tournament, where all teams will be jostling for spots in tomorrow afternoon's gold medal match. The women's games yesterday both threw up plenty of excitement and entertainment as the Maoris again came from behind to beat the New Zealand Indians, and the Pacifica women had a strong win over the Heritage Barbarians. It is the opening game of Day 3 today, and it is one that will be watched with most intent between the New Zealand Maoris and the Heritage Barbarians. Only 1 point separates them on the standings table, and the winner here will play in tomorrow's final. It's the Maoris who were expected to be there coming in as defending champions, but the Heritage Barbarians have continued to improve and could be at the big dance with a strong performance this morning. Both teams now have 2 games under their belts, and the connections are starting to come together for each team. It will be the key matchup in the midfield that holds success for either side this morning. Look for Ruby Jane Meehan for the Maoris, who picked up Player of the Day on the women's side of the draw yesterday. And she'll go up head-to-head against Rocio Gonzalez for the Barbarians, who has been strong all weekend for her side. I'm joined in commentary today by Seedal Patel from the Pukekohe Indians Hockey Club. Welcome back, Seedal. Thanks for being here again. We've seen these women's teams play a number of times over the weekend. What has impressed you so much about either team?
The quality of hockey that's been played this weekend is pretty awesome. This game is going to be a really good one to watch, especially because they need the outright win. So it'll be good to see both teams step up and see what the results at the end of the game. Yeah,
that's the exciting thing about short format tournament hockey, where we get to the third day of tournament and everything is on the line. Both teams, like I said, eyeing a spot in tomorrow's gold medal match, and both teams with the ability to do so if they can win the game outright. The New Zealand Maori women have picked up 5 competition points so far this weekend, and the Heritage Barbarians sit on 4. So it's still anybody's as they eye up tomorrow's big dance. Now, we can see the teams there. The Heritage Barbarians will be back in their white strip for today's game, and the New Zealand Maoris in their traditional black strip. And we take a look at the lineups for the Heritage Barbarians. They found real success in yesterday's game when they were able to push forward and be aggressive with their striker line, and we looked to some of the younger players in Jess Jones, Alicia Donovan and Murphy Phillips, who, like I said, found that success going forward and being aggressive in the press, and they were locked in well by Kalia Norton in goal, who was impressive in yesterday's game. She's a young goalkeeper for the Heritage Barbarian women's side, but she's been playing a fantastic tournament. They're, of course, coached by Hitendra Patel and will be fired up for today's game. As we see the umpires bring the teams out today, the umpires for today's game will be Sarah Cox and Tamara Dudley. And as we have a look at the New Zealand Maori side, they had a fantastic game yesterday. They grew into the game after going down early to the New Zealand Indians, and it was their shoring up of the midfield from Captain Orewa Hepi, impressive work from Micah Ackroyd and Tyler Toheriri in their midfield, which was able to unlock some of their young strikers in Arabella Irwin, Leah Arthur-Worsop, and the tournament-leading goal scorer Sarah Thomas. So look for that influence again as the Maoris look to go back to the final for the second year in a row. Seedal, it's an exciting game, first game of the day. What do you want to see from this Maori side if they are able to continue yesterday's form?
Their linking up when they did was really awesome to see, especially linking up with the likes of Ruby, her and Orewa, and even Arabella up in the front was just magic. And some of those quick fire shots, especially those reverses, were pretty deadly, so we get to see some of those too.
Yeah, and we spoke to Captain Orewa yesterday, and it was a ploy from Coach Tina Valkaki just to strengthen up their midfield, get a little bit more solidity in there, and it's something they're going to want to continue again today against a Heritage Barbarians side who put a lot of pressure on when they do have the numbers going forward. And I've been really impressed by the Heritage Barbarians women's team's ability to weather storms. They've spent periods of both games under a lot of pressure, and through the defensive work of the likes of Tuhia Hohepa, their goalkeeper Kalia Norton, Jessica Weck, have really kept some attacks at bay, and then when they're able to get numbers going forward, they are deadly with some of the speed and skill that they have moving forward. So it's going to be really important here for this Maori team to continue the dominance that they found in the midfield in yesterday's game, You can see as the teams just come to line up there, it looks like they will have Oriwa Hepi, Tyler Tohereri in the midfield. Ruby Jane Meehan there as well. Is the successful combo that did start yesterday's game. It will be the Heritage Barbarians with first use of the ball, and that is Jess Jones on the ball. She's got Alicia Donovan up the front there with her, and Rocio Gonzalez playing in the middle of the field. So some key matchups right up the middle of the park that will be exciting. I'm looking forward to an absolute cracker here at Colmar. For those of you watching on the New Zealand Heritage Hockey Facebook page, Sky Sport Next YouTube channel and the FIH app, we are about to kick off Game 1 of Day 3 here at the New Zealand Heritage Hockey Tournament between the New Zealand Maori women and the Heritage Barbarians. And it is the Barbarians with first use of the ball through Gonzalez. It's Emma Irwin on the ball there. She's been solid all weekend. She's got a good bit of skill there, but finds herself in a little bit of a hole. Alicia Donovan does enough there just to keep possession for the Barbarians. Looks to transfer the ball through Hohepa, who turns the ball over, but it is still the Barbarians coming forward up the left-hand side of the field there. It's Emily Carlson with the ball for the Barbarians, just looking at the edge of the circle, trying to find her way through the staunch Māori defence, and that's Gonzalez there flipping the ball through with some 3D skill on the baseline. Awesome bit of attacking play, but equal to it the defensive work from the Māori team, who do well enough not to infringe. It's an early forage here by the Barbarians. You see them just looking to change the point of attack, and that's Jess Weck with the ball. Now, just out of screen here at the moment as they get the free hit, the Barbarians will be taken quickly by Gonzalez. She's going to have a shot here on the reverse stick. And it's a good solid save there in goal by Huia Arahanga Doyle for the Māoris. Just out of shot, we can't quite see it at the moment, but the New Zealand Māori team do have a very high striker up 75 yards ahead of the ball here. I would say the ploy by coach Tina Balkake will be to get goal early and earn that win in regular time and avoid going to penalty shootouts. But it is the Barbarians with first use of attacking play there through Gonzalez. So do look if the Māoris can turn the ball over. They do have Sarah Thomas right up the field there for a fast outlet if it is available. The Barbarian woman doing enough just to stop that option. Interesting tactic there, Seedle. Like I said, it looks like coach Tina Balkake will want to get them goals and get them goals early and put that pressure on the scoreboard and try and win the game in regulation, which will ensure they get to tomorrow's final.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always nice to win in regular time, no added pressure in shootouts. But the high striker does add a bit of a mix in there. Yeah,
it's the added pressure, but it's also the inability to score maximum points from the game too, with only 2 points for a shootout win. And here is Oriwa Hepi. She's got Thomas in front of her if she can find her. There is Sarah Thomas, and it's well covered up there by Kalia Norton initially. And the free hit out there to the Heritage Barbarians. So you can see there how quickly the Māori woman can get forward and get something on target if they can link up with Sarah. She is the tournament leading goal scorer currently with 3 goals through 2 matches. And that's what they'll be looking for, is making sure that they can get full points out of this game. Both teams will need it to make it through to tomorrow's game. This is Grayson Keys Kumiro on the ball. Just finds the infringement of Alicia Donovan. It's good defensive pressure and work, and a breakout there by Emily Carlson. She's got Jess Jones in front of her if she can link up. The numbers aren't great, but they've got speed there to burn. Carlson just rolls it onto the foot of McQuinn, and it's Donovan coming forward here with a second attack. And Jess Jones with a nice touch in front of the goal of Arahanga Doyle, and trying to find the foot, unable to do so, but the Māori woman only able to clear as far as the 25-yard line, which we'll see them come forward with the ball.
Definitely think taking the early balls off the free hit too will be quite pivotal today, especially when the other team is still setting up.
Yeah, it's day 3 of tournament. Some of these players would have played big minutes over the first 2 games, so fatigue will definitely start to set in. So you're right, teams that can take the ball early and get in behind the first layer of defence might find some success in this first quarter as Orewa Hepi comes through a crowded Heritage Barbarians midfield, but she does fantastically well to link up with Leah Arthur-Worsop, who again has Sarah Thomas in front of her if she can find her. And it's Kalia Norton again equal to the task in goal for the Heritage Barbarian women's. There's Amy Mitchell over there with the Māoris is linking up well with Tyler Goodsill-Matthews, but strong tackle and turnover by Jess Jones. You can see immediately this Māori team's ability to come forward at pace, especially when they have the target of a high striker there, is really troubling this Heritage Barbarian side, Seedle.
Absolutely. So link that with the skill of Orewa.
Yeah, and it's something we noticed in yesterday's game. They've packed a little more firepower into their midfield, which allows their strikers to play with a lot more freedom and play forward hockey. And when they can link up, it is impressive going forward and able to pull in there Grayson Keys Kumiroa. And just a little too high on the first touch there. Free hit awarded out by umpire Tamara Dudley down the car park end for today's game. Heritage Barbarians putting some good pressure on. That's the high press we spoke about in the call where they were so successful yesterday against the Pacifica women. And the Māoris will do enough just to work their way up the field. Early here in first quarter hockey between the New Zealand Māoris and the Heritage Barbarians. Both teams needing a win here if they want to look at tomorrow's gold medal match. Not a lot separates them on the table, and the score is 0-0. A little contest down here. Yeah, Irwin just playing the ball forward. She's got Jones in front, and Jess Jones looking at the edge of the circle there. Trying to get on the outside of Ackroyd. And it's loose in front of the goal there of the Māoris, but cleared well by Amy Mitchell. She's trying to organise her troops behind her to avoid a second attack. And this is Hohepa coming forward with the ball for the Barbarians. It's messy there in the goal, in the circle, but the Māoris enough to work out through Jazz McQuinn. And this is Gonzalez coming through the midfield. She links up with Murphy Phillips up on the baseline, and she's happy just to roll the ball out and transfer the point of attack, which they do so through Emma Irwin here. Really strong work there on the save and clearance by Huia Arahanga Doyle for the Māori women's team. She's been asked some questions early, both goalkeepers having to make saves early in this quarter, Seedle. Means there's exciting stuff happening both ends of the field. This is the Māoris working out through Orewa Hohepa. Only get as far as halfway. She can't link up there with Goodsill-Matthews. Will be Chelsea Hepi onto the field here. She's got Gonzalez with her. There's good pressure here by the Māoris, but Gonzalez works her way through the gap. She's electric when she gets going forward with the ball. Good strong tackle there by Maya Wilson for the New Zealand Māori team. And Tyler Goodsill-Matthews will step onto the ball. There's space over on the left side with her overhead, but she will go straight forward, and it's intercepted well there by the Barbarians. Arabella Irwin does some good back tackling on Chelsea Hepi there. And a little mix-up coming out of the midfield by Maya Wilson and Amy Mitchell. They lose their opportunity to attack, but it is the Māoris on pressure here. Full pressure was Sarah Thomas. She's trying to get the ball from Trinell Woods-Edaweda, but she does well enough to keep possession. She's got Chelsea Hepi on the ball there going forward. Jess Jones looking to link up. There's the other side of the field here, and she has found Sam Barrable. That's Murphy Phillips, just unable to pull the ball in past Grayson Keys Kumiro, and the Māoris will come out with the relieving free hit. Micah Ackroyd onto the ball. She's got Grayson Keys Kumiro. Just unfortunately can't make her way through there. It will be barrel ball again. Edging her way up the field. Seidel, it's been a fast start here in this first women's game. We expect nothing less with both teams desperately needing the points from today's game. Who do you think's had the better of the go forward so far?
Definitely the Barbarians team. They've been in the Māori's defensive camp for quite a bit, but when the Māori team do turn it over, it is very quick when it gets up to the other field. Yeah,
I've been impressed by the build-up play of the Heritage Barbarian. Their circle entry, they've probably been of more quality and certainly of higher number, but like you say, with Sarah Thomas up here for the Māori team, when they break out, they go quickly and they're putting real pressure. And if it weren't for some of the expert work of Kalia Norton in goal, could find themselves ahead on the scoreboard.
Absolutely.
Gonzalez works her baseline down there. She's got good 3D skills. She gets past the second defender. She's got players in front of her, and it's an unfortunate miss swing there in front of goal for the Heritage Barbarians. But this is one of those breakouts, and it's Arabella Irwin just trying to link up with Ruby Jane Meehan, unable to do so. Thanks to a touch for the Heritage Barbarians, the Māori woman will continue to come forward through Orewa Hepi here. And that is Arabella Irwin. She's got Sarah Thomas in front of goal. And Michaela Bradley will pull this one in for the Māori woman. Good work there by Tyler Goodsell-Matthews if she can link back up with Bradley, but it is Rocio Gonzalez who has been so good for the Heritage Barbarians.
She's definitely been everywhere.
Yeah, she's does a lot of work, does Gonzalez, and she'll be both sides of the field. Plays both sides of the ball. She's earned herself a rest there for
well
her
deserved.
efforts. And that's strong work there by the Māoris. A key of yesterday's game. This is Ruby Jane Meehan. And well, the touch intercepted there by Chelsea Hepi had to be made because Sarah Thomas was nice and low in front of the goal. For the Māoris, they will get a second opportunity to attack here through Maya Wilson.
I must say, when they do get that ball in that counter-attack, the New Zealand Māori's team is quite fast. So that's what the Barbarians team will need to be wary of, to be sharp and on point.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of pressure on when it does happen, and it happens very quickly. This is Ruby Jane Meehan coming forward with the ball. She was strong in yesterday's game, wears off a rough tackle there by the Heritage Barbarians, and she's still coming forward. She's got Hepi in the middle of the circle, who does fantastically well, and it's Norton to turn it away again. Good little rivalry there between Chelsea Hepi and Orewa Hepi. Find each other in the circle on in opposite colours this tournament. And there's Irwin again, and just unable to pull that ball in. Hepi gets it back and will earn a free hit here for the Māoris just outside the dotted circle. We're under 5 minutes in this first quarter, and it's been both ends. Māoris enjoying a little bit of attack here, but Michaela Bradley unable to bring it in on the baseline. This is that first real momentum shift. It was build-up play for the Barbarians in the first 5 or 6 minutes, and the Māoris just enjoying a little bit more territory here over the last couple. And this is well worked out there by Arana Tamati for the Barbarians. Ball just sails over the baseline there, so Māori's able to work their way forward through Mike Ackroyd, and that is the long ball to Sarah Thomas. She's got Arabella Irwin on the inside if she can find her. Absolutely fantastic work there again by Kalia Norton.
She's been on form this weekend.
We can't sing her praises enough this first quarter. Shut down everything so far from the Māoris, but they will have another opportunity, if not intercepted there by Alicia Donovan for the Barbarians. This is Maya Wilson with ball coming forward for the Maoris, but just a turnover there under the duress of the Barbarians, and the Maoris look to just slow things down a little bit and kick back out to one of their leaders in Jazz McQuinn. She's got Tyler Goodsell-Matthews on the outside of her, and Uri Wahepi will look to receive that going forward, and she's got eyes up here. And it's Rana Tamati there, just judged to be inside the 5-yard line, does give away the free hit, which results in a penalty corner for the New Zealand Māori women's side. So we'll be the New Zealand Māori team with first use of the set piece here. We're just under 2 minutes left in the first quarter. I've got Jazz McQuinn set up on the bracket with Micah Ackroyd off her shoulder. Just a single bracket for this first corner. And that is Micah Ackroyd just coming in as second option on the penalty corner. And it is the sweep hit with a little bit of a bobble on it that beats the Heritage Barbarians and does find the back of the goal for the New Zealand Māoris as we see the replay here. A double fake at the top for the Māoris. You'll see Jazz McQuinn just fall off the bracket. And that little bounce does enough to work its way over the boot of Kalia Norton, who has been so fantastic in goal for the Barbarians so far. But it's the Māoris with the 1 goal advantage here in the first game of the day. But quick ball forward here for Gonzalez. Can unlock the attacking prowess of this Heritage Barbarian side. It's Jazz McQuinn again under a fair bit of pressure. Only get as far as Donovan. And the Māoris will work their way forward through Meehan, looking for Sarah Thomas again coming forward, and she puts pressure on Jess Weck. Earns the free hit. And the Māoris with their heads up now have players coming forward with the ball. Jessica Weck does well there just to break down that attack and outlet through Alicia Donovan for the Heritage Barbarians. Just 30 seconds left in this break, and the Heritage Barbarians want to work their way forward. They've got themselves a free hit. But not a lot of time left in the quarter. They might have one go at it if they can be quick. And this is Emma Irwin with the free hit. Perhaps unaware of the time. Yeah, won't be able to get that entry in time to give her team an opportunity, but it's been a fast start for both sides here. It's the Māoris that find themselves up 1-0 over the Heritage Barbarians through a penalty corner goal to Micah Ackroyd in the final 2 minutes of that quarter. Seedle, very fast start. Both teams had opportunities. Both goalkeepers called in to do a lot of work, but it's the Māoris that find themselves up 1-0. What have you been most impressed with in this game?
The tactics from the New Zealand Māori team, having that high striker has definitely made a bit of a game changer for them, especially when they do take the ball early and then they can afford to send it up. And the skill with those strikers is quite awesome. So as soon as they do get the ball, it does put the defenders on the back foot. Yeah, that's it. And as we see some of the highlights from the first quarter here, it was the Heritage Barbarians that enjoyed the first part of the quarter there, as Gonzalez had a good shot saved by Huia Arahanga Doyle for the Māoris. They had the bulk of the first part of the game, but it was strong defensive work and turnovers like this here by Uri Wahepi, releasing her strikers going forward, which we spoke about earlier in the call. That created a lot of opportunity for the Māoris. But it was Kalia Norton there, which you can see a number of times, making clinical saves in front of goal, ensuring that the damage wasn't done until that final penalty corner. Heritage Barbarians, when they came forward, they were strong, and both goalkeepers playing really well in this first quarter, sending multiple opportunities back. It's Arahanga Doyle and Norton in either goal. But it was some of this classy work and go forward ball, like you said, with Sarah Thomas playing up high. She has been a threat all game. And when you have the ability of Jazz McQuinn and Micah Ackroyd and Uri Wahepi, who can find a good long ball out of the back,
having a target going forward there is a very obvious ploy by the Maori Women's, and it's paid off so far. They're up 1-0. The game's still very long way from being finished. We've seen games go right down to the wire all weekend here. Cedal, what will this Heritage Barbarian side want to continue to do well in the second quarter?
Definitely continue on building. You could tell in that first quarter that's what they were doing. Playing with the ball around and then making those circle penetrations in, which they were getting in as well. They were just unable to capitalise on the shots on goal. But when you got Huia defending...
Yeah, she's a tough one to get past. Not many are successful in doing so. And we just see that it will be... Looks like a change in goalkeeper stocks for the Maori women. We have Brodie Cochrane coming into goal here for them. So Huia Arahangadoia will spend this quarter on the sideline with her team. A good opportunity to roll both goalkeepers through some game time here this morning.
Yeah, and Barbarians. Yeah.
It's good physical contest both sides there. And it will be the Heritage Barbarians that get the better of the whistle there. Emma Irwin with the ball here for the Barbarians. Very strong look forward, and the Heritage Barbarians have numbers forward playing the Māoris at their own game here early in the second quarter. Unable to link up with Murphy Phillips and Jess Jones in the goal there, but some good height shown early from this Heritage Barbarians side, who perhaps went into the quarter break and Coach Hitendra Patel said, look, if it's working on one side, perhaps it can work on the other.
Yeah. And yeah, definitely Jess Jones in the front. She'll have that feistiness to be able to have a crack at the ball.
Yeah, and this Heritage Barbarians side certainly have some players that can throw a good long ball, and Tuhia Hohepa and Emma Irwin. It is Irwin on the reverse stick cross, just falling to the top of the circle there, but it's the Māoris and their composure that has done well so far in the circle. They have been tested a number of times. Jazz McQuinn playing well for the Māori team. That's a great infield turn there by Goodsill Matthews, and she does enough to keep possession for her side coming out of their defensive area. Must be Chelsea Heppy coming forward here for the Heritage Barbarians. She took that overhead in well. And she's got Rocio Gonzalez coming forward with the ball. And it's the Heritage Barbarians with the ball at the back with Jess Weck. Jess Weck, another one of the exponents of the long ball going forward, unable to link up with Murphy Phillips. And I am joined in commentary by Kelsey Tenety, member generally of this New Zealand Māori women's team, but has been on services with the Blackfern Sevens over the last few months, and back from a successful trip overseas.
Yes,
Kelsey,
good everyone.
Awesome to see you here. How's the game so far this morning?
Oh man, I'm loving watching it. It's been for ages since I've actually been able to watch and play. Not even play, but watch a bit of hockey, so it's good. Nah.
Yeah, awesome. As we just see the Māori women here earn themselves a penalty corner. And they were successful on their first one, as we do just see the replay here. It's Amy Mitchell working the ball forward with Maya Wilson. And strong entry here, just work it onto the foot there of the Heritage Barbarians defender, which will earn their second corner. So they scored off the first corner. And they've got Jazz and Micah set up off the top again. It was a sweep hit by Micah Ackroyd that scored the first goal. And they switch it up and go to Jazz McQuinn, who tries to find Amy Mitchell on the post there, just sails past the edge of the goal. But Kelsey, you've been having great success in rugby. Obviously we've seen you on the hockey field a fair bit, but it's rugby that's taking up a lot of your time at the moment, which is awesome to see. How's the environment been? How's the travelling overseas again? How's all that going for you?
Yeah, I mean, I love the rugby environment. The girls are amazing. My first year being fully contracted, so it is a dream come true, and to be playing alongside some of the greats, well, most of the greats, it's definitely something that I'm very proud of.
Yeah, and I guess you got your first real go forward with the Chiefs women's side in last year's competition. I saw picked up Chiefs Young Player of the Year, which was fantastic. How's the transition from 15s into 7s?
I love both. I definitely feel like my skill set is more for 15s, but the fitness-wise in 7s, that's something totally different. But no, I love both games, and the transition between both of them has been good. I'm actually can't wait to play a bit of 15s again, but in the meantime, just sticking to 7s.
Yeah, and I've seen you've spent a bit of time with Tyler Nathan Wong,
Yes.
and linking up with her in the mount, and she's very experienced in both 7s and 15s. How has her influence been for you as you forge your career in rugby?
Hugely. She opened her home up for me for the first couple months as I was in the team. So, yeah, she's one of the greats, and she has so much knowledge and leadership. I just admire her and her skill set and everything that she brings to the game. So yeah, she's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we just turn our eyes back to the game here, it is the Māoris coming forward through Taylor Weatherly. They very nearly earned themselves a penalty corner just moments ago, but continue on attack here. You will have played with and against a fair few of these girls out here. Kels, you miss playing?
Yeah. Just watching now, getting itchy feet. Mum wanted me to bring my stick down, but unfortunately can't.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Tina Belkaki would have wanted you to bring your stick as well.
Yeah, she said she had a jersey waiting for me.
Well, it's awesome to have you here. Thank you so much for coming up and speaking with us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we can't wait to see you on the big screen again.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Kels. As we go back into second quarter action here between the New Zealand Māori women and the Heritage Barbarians. Our score's still at 1-0 to the Māoris. And they've enjoyed a little bit of possession here going forward with the ball as they just look to transfer attack through Grayson Keys-Kumiro. She's got Taylor Weatherly on the outside of her. And it's a bouncing ball that does beat the stick there of Tuhia Hohepa on the way through. And it'll be long corner here for the New Zealand Māoris. Barbarians not set, but do well enough there to work the free hit away. See all this game's growing in intensity again. Māoris continuing to try and push forward, but the Barbarians are doing a good job here of turning away in their defensive work.
Absolutely, yeah. The Barbarians' defence is definitely working for it today. The pace that the New Zealand Māoris are coming at towards the goal is quite fast as well.
Yeah, this is Ruby Jane Meehan on the ball here. She's got a couple of players in front if she can find them. That was Tyler Toherere with the touch. But Barrowball does enough there just to clear and earn themselves the 16-yard hit through Jessica Weck. This is Weck on the ball here for the Heritage Barbarians. The Māoris can go forward quickly here after the free hit with Leah Arthur-Worsop. She's got good skill around the edge of the circle. She breaks through and has a reverse stick. Just not coming off cleanly, unfortunately, there for Leah Arthur-Worsop. She did all the hard work in getting through. It is Hohepa linking up there with her strikers. Cleaned up initially by Grayson Keys-Kumiro. She's been good for the Māoris this weekend. And again, we'll just wear the physical contact of the Barbarians, and this is Ruby Jane Meehan again coming forward as Jess Weck, and it's Emma Irwin judged to take the ball illegally, so Amy Mitchell will be on the edge of the circle for the Māori woman. It is Meehan again linking up, and just covered in front of the goal there well by Kalia Norton. Midway through the second quarter of hockey here between the Māoris and the Heritage Barbarians. Remember, this is must-win game for tomorrow's medal matches. It's Tyler Goodsell-Matthews here with the ball for the Māoris. She's got players in the circle. Very well defended there by the Heritage Barbarians not to concede the free hit, and this is Gonzalez coming out with a great bit of skill here. She's got Tamati and Donovan with her. And it's Keys Kumiro again to just take control of the intercept. Donovan continues hounding, but unfortunately picked up the foot of Ackroyd there, not the ball. And Ackroyd will come forward. This is Sarah Thomas. She's got Amy Mitchell. Amy Mitchell has eyes for the circle. Finds Sarah Thomas. And that's finished well there by Sarah Thomas. That's some fantastic two-man work on the baseline there for the New Zealand Māoris, between Sarah Thomas and Amy Mitchell, just linking up on the left-hand baseline. As we do see the replay here, it's Thomas with the hard work to get the ball, links up with Mitchell, the 2-on-1 there, well picked up on the reverse, and she holds it up just long enough to find the gap through the feet there of Kalia Norton, and it is Thomas who adds to her goal scoring tally for the weekend. Up 2 for the New Zealand Māori woman. Seedle, really nice play along the baseline there by the Māoris.
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely started from that quick turnaround over there, straight up the front. But the linking up between the two players was really awesome to see and very clinical.
Yeah, and it's that quick turnover and ball over distance that the Māoris have had good success with. That was Micah Ackroyd that time. Wins the free hit, looks for her strikers, and it is very obvious height as we see a fantastic transfer pass out here. Finds Tyler Goodsell-Matthews in a lot of space. She links up with Arabella Irwin, just holds the ball up and looks for her players. She's done well there to get on the outside of Hohepa. It's only as far as Amy Mitchell. It's Trinell Woods-Edaweda there, just doing enough to keep the ball out of the front of the goal for the Barbarians. The Māoris will stay on attack here with Tyler Tohiriri O'Neill. Has Amy Mitchell going forward. The umpire's just figuring out what the call here is. Sarah Cox and Tamara Dudley, yep, getting the communication right there in the end, and that's why we've got good umpires and good comms. Make sure the calls are being made at the right time, and it will be the Heritage Barbarians working out through Trinell Woods-Edaweda. It's only as far there as Tohiriri O'Neill. Unfortunately for them, it doesn't come to much more, but they will get a reset on the 16-yard exit through Chelsea Heppy. We're under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter, and it's the Māoris that have put themselves up 2-0 through some good work up front. And this is Micah Ackroyd again, who set up the last go forward. Sarah Thomas there, just unable to pull it under control in the circle for the Māoris. Heritage Barbarians having to weather another storm here. Seedle, they've been equal to a lot of it so far this game. You can see here Tuhia Hohepa has just pulled herself in to help with that ball out of the back. She's got barrel ball outside her. And it might have been a miscue, but it's worked here for the Heritage Barbarians as they find the second layer midfielder, who does well just to throw it onto the foot there of Taylor Weatherly. It was Emily Carlson receiving the ball for the Barbarians. There's Woods-Edaweda again on the ball. She's got Heppy outside of her. A nice little wrist pass in there. It's great 3D skill. Finds Murphy Phillips in the circle for the Heritage Barbarians, and she's done well to get the ball across the front of goal, but it's does sail past all would-be attackers and defenders for the Barbarians. Their first go of it in the last couple of minutes here.
Yeah. Definitely this quarter has been dominated by the Māori team.
Yeah, they've had a really strong quarter, but it is the Heritage Barbarians who, when they get their press right and can really squeeze on, they have gained success over the weekend.
Yeah, putting that pressure on the ball carrier.
Yeah, it's tough to put pressure on players like Jazz McQuinn and Micah Ackroyd, who are at the back there for the Māoris, but
definitely with their tight skill as well.
Yeah, the Barbarians are going to have to start pushing things a little bit here if they want to be there for tomorrow's game. Remember, a penalty shootout, probably not quite enough to get them there for the Heritage Barbarians. So they will need the outright win if they want to be in tomorrow's gold medal match. The Māoris doing well enough to put themselves in the position they want to be tomorrow. And it's Grayson Keys-Kumiro here on the ball for the Māori women. David Oakley coming in to Make sure there's not two balls on the field. That's a great touch there by Ruby J. Meehan just to find Taylor Weatherly, and she's got Amy Mitchell there in front of her. Tyler Tohiriri O'Neill on the ball here for the Māoris, trying to link up with Sarah Thomas. Good pressure there by Chelsea Heppy to shut down that attack. That's the Māoris still in high press. As we get into the final 2 minutes of this quarter here, the Māoris continue to press forward. They're going to want another one. Coach Tina Balkaki will be imploring them to keep going forward. They have found success with high strikers and players in motion going forward. This is Micah Ackroyd on the ball. Has Jazz McQuinn with her. Alicia Donovan doing some hard yards for the Barbarians. Unfortunately there for Gemma Jones. I thought it might have been her free hit, but it will be the Māoris to come forward. This is Maya Wilson, just gets on the outside. Great skill there, Maya Wilson. And she does find the foot there of Gemma Jones in the middle of the circle. It's a great little bit of skill there on the outside by Maya Wilson. A good go forward ball by Jazz McQuinn, as we see. This is the ball, she flips on the outside of the defender here. And this tidy drag gets her eyes up. And good outcome there for the New Zealand Māori women. So from the set piece again, where they are 1 goal from 2 attempts, we'll line up with McQuinn and Ackroyd at the top. And it was Ackroyd looking for the deflections on the left side of the goal for the injector Tyler Tohiriri O'Neill and Sarah Thomas, but the Heritage Barbarians break out, and this is where they've been so dangerous in games this weekend, is when they break out at speed. They've still got the ball going forward here with Jess Jones, and just the last pass there, not quite what she would have wanted for her team. She's trying to link up with Rocio Gonzalez, but the defensive work back and pressure from the Māoris doing enough. It's that press of the Barbarians, just unable to get it to Donovan quick enough, will spell the end of the second quarter here between the New Zealand Māoris and the Heritage Barbarians. It is the first game of the day at New Zealand Heritage Hockey Tournament here, day 3, Easter Sunday, and it's a massive game setting up for tomorrow's medal matches. The New Zealand Māori women ahead 2-0 currently with goals to Sarah Thomas and Micah Ackroyd. The Heritage Barbarians here need an outright win. A penalty shootout win probably won't be enough, so they will need an outright win if they're going to want to be in tomorrow's final. The Māori women, either win will do, and they're putting their best foot forward as we do check out a couple of the highlights from the second quarter. Cedal was really impressed with the short passing, good execution by the attackers for the New Zealand Māori team. Absolutely,
yeah, the way that they're driving the ball in and using those short, sharp passes really cut up the defence for the Barbarians.
This is Jazz McQuinn on the corner there, just goes past the stick of Amy Mitchell on the right post. And we saw they had real success when they were able to get strikers high with the ball and then able to link up and find a second and often third pass. That's when they looked really dangerous in front of the goal. And not to be understated is the work so far of Kalia Norton in goal for the Heritage Barbarians. Despite all the work she has had to do, and I know she'll be disappointed with goals on the board, but she's been absolutely phenomenal so far for her side. I think if it weren't for the work of her and a couple of her defenders, this scoreboard could look very different this morning.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's been quite phenomenal this weekend in general.
And she is well covered in front of her goal. Just a young goalkeeper, Kalia Norton, but stepping up and has the opportunity through this tournament, Heritage Hockey. This is some of the fantastic play between strikers and midfielders the Māori women's team enjoyed, and that's Sarah Thomas, the tournament's leading goal scorer now with 4 goals, puts the Māori women's team ahead 2-0 at that point. You can see there's a lot of clean-up work to do for the Heritage Barbarians and a lot of time equal to it. Through Hepi, Hohepa, Weck, Woods Erueta, a number of them doing a lot of work here, and not without their opportunities. Murphy Phillips just unable to link up in front of goal here with Jess Jones in front of the Māori goal. The Heritage Barbarians still have their opportunities when they can come forward quickly but the key is breaking down the strong Māori women's defence. And Maya Wilson there, impressive in her drive into the circle. And there was this option here from Micah Ackroyd that scored the first goal but looked for the deflection on the left. And this opportunity here, you can see she had two would-be deflectors down there but just unable to find the stick that beats the goal of Norton. So it is 2-0 here. New Zealand Māori women leading over the Heritage Barbarians. They're in the driver's seat for the game and for tomorrow's medal match. Seidel, what do you think Coach Hiri will be saying to his Heritage Barbarian women's side if they do claw their way back into this game?
Definitely the early passes will be key. Just try and get the Māori ladies on the back foot and linking up with your players as well. You've got some really strong players at the back that can easily read the play and intercept those long balls, so they just need to be very careful of that.
Yeah, you're right. I think they really are going to have to work to move some of the defensive shape of the Māori team, with the likes of Orewa Hepi, and Jazz McQuinn anchoring the middle of their field. If they're able to just stay and sit in the middle of the field, they're very, very influential in the defence. But if you can start to move them around, transfer the ball, keep the ball moving, and getting numbers around the ball, they may be able to find their way through there, and they're going to have to work really hard for it, because this New Zealand Māori women's team have been strong in second halves this weekend.
Absolutely, yeah.
Found themselves behind on the scoreboard early in both of their games, and both times able to get back to at least even, and in yesterday's game going ahead. So this is a second half team, the New Zealand Māori women, which will be an uphill climb for the Heritage Barbarian women's side.
But yeah, no, definitely still got 2 quarters to go, so anything could happen, as we've seen this weekend.
Yep.
Could always go down to the wire.
Yeah, it's the excitement and the enjoyment of Heritage Hockey Tournament. No games are over until that ball and all the players are off the field. So
absolutely.
As the teams start to come back out here, the Māori team in black, the Heritage Barbarians in white. If you are joining us on the Heritage Hockey Facebook page, Sky Sport Next YouTube channel, or the FIH app, we welcome you here to Heritage Hockey, live from Colmar Sports Centre in Papatoetoe, thanks to the awesome work of local Gecko Productions. We are here and live with first game of the day between New Zealand Māoris and the Heritage Barbarians. Big finals implications this game. The New Zealand Māori women requiring either an outright win or a penalty shootout win to get themselves there, and the Heritage Barbarians needing an outright win if they are to be in tomorrow's final against the Pacifica women. And it is the Māoris coming forward here with early possession through Tyler Toheriri. Links up with Nicola Bradley, who does well to bring it under control. And Hohepa will clear here to about halfway for the Heritage Barbarians.
Yeah, they'll definitely want to score that another goal, the New Zealand Māori team, just to, settle it down for them a little bit so that they have a bit of breathing space. Yeah,
that's it. We've spoken in a number of games about the what a 2-0 lead looks like and how tough it is to, you feel like you're safe and you're never quite safe at 2-0, as the the Māori men will attest to that yesterday, being up 2-0 heading into the fourth quarter, and the Indian men running back into that game 2-2. So you're right, Māoris will want to score early here and just put that little bit of breathing space on the scoreboard. Heritage Barbarians obviously wanting to cut that lead in half as quickly as possible, but it is the Māoris coming forward here, and fantastic work there by Amy Mitchell. Just gets the ball in behind Rocio Gonzalez and earns the penalty corner, so it will be Māori women with set piece early in the third quarter. Up comes Jazz McQuinn. She's got Micah Ackroyd there again, and the communication as we see this work here by Amy Mitchell gets past Sarana Tamati there, and it is Gonzalez here that she just gets the ball in behind the foot, and unfortunately not a lot you can do there defensively, so well done. And it will be Ackroyd and McQuinn up the top again. And it's good defensive work there again by the Heritage Barbarians to send away another penalty corner. And good defensive work there by the Barbarians just to break down the long corner entry by Arana Tamati. She's got Tuhia Hohepa there with her. And it's Gemma Jones coming forward with the ball for the Heritage Barbarians. They can attack quickly if they get numbers around the ball. She links back up and she's got the middle of the field if they can find it. This Rocio Gonzalez here just reins it in for the Barbarians. Attempts to get on the outside there of Amy Mitchell with the 3D skill, but only as far as the long corner. There's Weck here again on the ball for the Barbarians. Just looking to shift the point of attack, and they go back to Gonzalez in that matchup with Mitchell. Mitchell the better of that one this time. She's got Heppy to work the small games out, who does well there. And we'll call Grayson Keys Kumidora onto the ball for the Māori women and their exit play. That's Alicia Donovan, who was electric in yesterday's game when she gets going forward with the press. She's got Tyler Goodsell-Matthews. And Tyler's done well there. The Heritage Barbarian side really plugging this right side of the goal, and to no avail there as the ball does just sail over the baseline for them. Good start both ways here, Settle, for both sides. Penalty corner one end for the Māoris, and a couple of sustained attacks there for the Barbarians.
Yep, can definitely tell both teams have got some extra fire in their bellies now after that first half.
Yeah, both will be really settled into their work and understand now with just 35 minutes to go that this could be it for their gold medal match hopes. And this is Jess Jones here, has Alicia Donovan in front of goal. Brodie Cochrane does well there just to roll the ball out past any would-be attackers for the Barbarians, forcing them into a reset. Up at the long corner. They've got Tamati on the other side of the field if they can find her. They do come forward. They're through. Was Anika Rudbing trying to come forward there with the ball. Sorry, Emily Carlson. She's got Alicia Donovan. You can see the high presses up again by the Barbarians, and they win turnover ball in their own attacking half. Continue coming forward here with Tuhia Hohepa. She's got Gonzalez in the middle, but opts to roll the ball back out. Good work again by Alicia Donovan. She does a lot of work in the press here for this Heritage Barbarian side, and they're earning the turnovers. They're just not able so far to convert it into circle entry and ask questions of the goalkeeper for the Māoris, but they do come forward here up their favoured right side. And it is still Barbarian women if they can keep it there, but work there by Heppy and Keys Kumiroa and McQuinn there, able to earn the relieving sideline hit for the Māoris. Cedar, it's this high press that is will be causing concerns for the Māori team at the moment.
Absolutely, yeah. The Barbarians team are putting a lot of pressure on that ball carrier, or the ball person that's got the ball. Yeah, no, and that's what's helping them out, and especially in that last set of play over there, they're able to get that turnover and get into that circle.
Yeah, it's a tough thing to keep up for periods at a time. Physically, obviously, the sun's starting to heat up here at Colmar, but if they can get something out of it, will just grow a little bit of confidence. As Woods Edaweda just rolls the ball out to Heppy for the Heritage Barbarians. It's a good go forward pass there. She's watched by Oriwa Heppy. And it will be Chelsea Heppy onto the ball here for the Heritage Barbarians. This is Rocio Gonzalez, who's been so dangerous all weekend for the Barbarians. Great turn inside. Enough to earn the free hit, and she'll come forward quickly, trying to catch the Māori defenders off guard. And after asking for the corner, does get the ball back there on the baseline and does fantastically well there. Gonzalez perhaps thought she had the penalty corner a couple of steps earlier, but stays in with the play there and does enough to earn the corner. She's going to be key for them here, Seedle. As we see the replay, this is Gonzalez. Pretty sure she worked the first one, but continues playing.
It's like almost the play paused for a bit.
Yeah. Yep, and got the ball off the ground again. 3D skill to earn the penalty corner, and this will be our first look at the Heritage Barbarians penalty corner bracket. They've got Jones at the top there on the bracket. She does have a drag flick. Will opt for the hit. Great save there by Brodie Cochrane, and really good pad work there by Tyler Goodsell-Matthews just to clear out past any danger. Gemma Jones there just driving the ball into the foot of Amy Mitchell. This is Alicia Donovan with the ball just outside the circle. She's done well to link up with Pitiroi. Yeah, and it was a little bit of communication there from both teams, probably more so for the Heritage Barbarians, who thought they'd seen something, and you know, Tamara Dudley in a really good spot on the other side of the field for the umpires, just making sure that everything could be seen, and she communicates well there to Sarah Cox, and they get the decision in the end. So it will be the Heritage Barbarians with another opportunity here. And it's Chelsea Happy who finishes it for the Heritage Barbarians. It wasn't the cleanest off the top, but Alicia Donovan really heads up play. Just rolls a bouncy one in front of the goal there of Brodie Cochrane, and I think it was touched by Rocio Gonzalez on its way through to Happy, finishing it off as we see the replay here. A little untidy here, but this is a really heads up play, just bouncing one through. Yep, and it was Gonzalez under the outstretched leg of Cochrane and finished off there by Happy. So it's 2-1. All on here. They get some payoff for this high press that has been working well for them, Seedle, and they're heads up now, going again.
Yes, the Barbarians team will have that second wind after that goal, so they'll be coming out firing.
This is Gonzalez again. Speaking of fire, she's one with plenty of it, and she comes forward again, trying to keep them off, catch them off guard. Almost identical that she to what she did just moments ago to earn the penalty corner, but it's Uriwa Hepi who answers the call and wins the free hit there. Midway through this third quarter of action between New Zealand Māoris and the Heritage Barbarians. The Heritage Barbarians have just cut that lead in half, scoring from penalty corner variation. This is Jazz McQuinn trying to touch the ball forward to Tohorere O'Neill, but well intercepted there by Rebecca Crump for the Heritage Barbarians, and a quick transfer finds Gonzalez with a lot of space going forward. It's a lovely bouncy entry there, but both Pitiroi and Phillips unable to jump onto the end of it. You can see the second wind here for this Barbarians. It's often difficult to continue sustained pressure physically, but when you score the goal for it,
absolutely,
you gain that extra bit of wind. Jazz McQuinn, with her experience, just looking to slow things down and calm things down a little bit for her side. Has Tyler Goodsell-Matthews on the outside of her. Good turn inside of Phillips. And finds Arabella Irwin there going forward. And the Māoris here with an opportunity to answer back straight after points. And the tip tackle judged clean there by the umpire Tamara Dudley, a little bit out of control. And it's the Heritage Barbarians here with ball with the goal scorer, Chelsea Happy. She's got Gonzalez again back. She has just been playing at attacking right and is now at defensive left. Doing a mountain of work for this Heritage Barbarian side.
She is definitely a workhorse.
And this is her again on the ball. She'll try and play small out, and it does well enough to keep the ball. Forward she goes. I think there's one gear for Gonzalez and it's go.
Yep.
She's got Happy with the ball here. Close, and it's picked there. She's got Happy, who's dangerous in this area of the field, does well to control the ball. Saved by Norton. It's not out of danger there. Amy Mitchell with the ball. Good solid low defense there by the Heritage Barbarians. Unfortunately, there does enough for the Māoris to win the penalty corner. There's some good low defense there Yeah, I thought I'd maybe been seeing things. I thought it was pretty good defensive work there by the Heritage Barbarians. And again, good communication by the umpires to get the right call. Will be a free hit out to the Barbarians, and they come forward here with numbers going forward if she can find Phillips. And this is Phillips on the ball, Murphy Phillips. And good exit there by Taylor Weatherly along the baseline just to calm things down a little bit. It's going to be a frantic last 4 minutes of this quarter as the Barbarians continue to press forward for the equaliser. Chelsea Hippie has Rocio Gonzalez. She's incredible around the edge of the circle.
Now on the attacking left.
Yeah, there's not a position outside of the goal that Rocio Gonzalez doesn't play at the moment. Here she is again on the ball. Tidy 3D on the reverse stick. Absolutely incredible work there by Rocio Gonzalez. She's going to will her team to every opportunity that she can get, and that's fantastic turn of 3D skill and speed there as we see the replay. Anywhere the ball is, she's not far from it, and this is a nice little entry pass here. Gonzalez, initial flip, gets the ball in a good strong position, and Keys Kumiro just unable to get low enough to wear off that attack. So it will be the Heritage Barbarians from the short corner again. They scored their first goal from the set piece. They've got Wick at the top, 2 on the right again like they had last time, and it's a little untidy. It's Woods Edward having to just get one going towards goal and unable to be touched in on the near side deflection for the Heritage Barbarians. Judged to have taken a touch there off the defensive play for the Maori, so the Heritage Barbarians will stay in possession and attack, and it is of course Gonzalez again on the ball. She gets her circle entry, links up there, and that one very nearly goes in off the stick of Rebecca Crump. Heritage Barbarians enjoying a little bit of attacking opportunity here with just 2 minutes to play in this third quarter. Jess Wick drives one in off the stick there of Arabella Irwin. And Seedle, if the Barbarians can find their way through here this quarter, it's going to make this fourth quarter an absolute bell ringer here.
Absolutely, yeah. After getting that first goal, that Heritage team, they've got that fire in their belly, and you can tell they want it.
Yeah.
They've just been attacking this whole time.
Yeah, they'll have a bit of belief here, and they've got some opportunity with just over 90 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Micah Ackroyd will just want to slow things down a little bit. Grayson Keys Kumiro comes onto the ball and has Tyler Goodsell Matthews here. Barbarians up in the press though. This has worked for them. Here comes Alicia Donovan trying to put pressure on Weatherly, and they do win the turnover. It's a little further away from the goal than they would have wanted, but they do have possession and may get the final opportunity. Here coming forward through Trinell Woods-Edaweda. So attempting to link up with Donovan there. Not quite the receive she would have wanted. It was very nearly there for the Barbarians, and they're in their press shape again. It's Jess Jones putting pressure on Taylor Weatherly. Weatherly's done well there to wear off the contact and link up with Heppy in the middle of the field. But it's Donovan again just harassing, and she wins the free hit. She's coming forward with the ball. Is Alicia Donovan. She's got players either side if she can find them. That's fantastic work there by Grayson Keys Kumiro to cover that up. It was the attack there of Emily Carlson for the Heritage Barbarians, and it's still the arm wrestle there between Carlson and Keys Kumiro, but it is Grayson Keys Kumiro that comes away with the free hit, and Tyler Goodsell Matthews will just walk the ball up to the 16-yard line and hope for that clock to tick its way down. Yeah, a little bit of attempted wood chopping there from Alicia Donovan in the desperate stages, but they worked their way through to the third quarter break. It is the Māori women up 2-1 over the Heritage Barbarians side. Really spirited quarter there for the Heritage Barbarians. Seedle, what worked so well for them in that third?
It's definitely the that pressure that they were putting on the ball carrier and just playing a bit higher as well. As soon as they did get that turnover, they were able to get into that circle and put that pressure on. Definitely, if they keep that up, and then the last quarter, hopefully we'll see another goal.
Yeah, you can see just an extra bit of pressure going forward through the likes of Alicia Donovan, Emily Carlson, Jess Jones, and of course the tireless work of Rocio Gonzalez driving all of that forward. As you see, it was the Māoris who started fast here. They earned the penalty corner in the opening 90 seconds of this quarter.
Definitely in this last quarter, especially after playing 3 games. Well, this is their third now. The fatigue will definitely set in, and it's who can overcome that the most.
Yeah, and it was the Heritage Barbarians women that worked their way into this third quarter. Like I said, this is Jess Jones here, linking up with Alicia Donovan. And it was that group there of both the Joneses, Jess and Gemma, Alicia Donovan, Emily Carlson, and Rocio Gonzalez, that found so much success going forward here. And this was the penalty corner worked by Gonzalez for the Heritage Barbarians. And just keep an eye on the injector. This is one that does get sent away by the Māoris. Good save there originally. So you can see there the injector always getting in on that left post, and it pays dividends for them on the next penalty corner. As Alicia Donovan links up there with Pitiroi. Yeah, and this is the little conversation. So, like I said, be aware of the injector here that comes in. It is Chelsea Heppy on the left post. Not as tidy as they would have wanted, but this little 3D ball finds its way through. And Heppy past Cochrane does well enough to bring them up closer to the lead. It is 2-1, and this is Tyler Goodsell-Matthews coming forward with the ball. We're in the final quarter here of the first game of the day here, day 3 at Heritage Hockey Tournament. It is the day that sets up all of our games for tomorrow. For those of you just joining us on the Heritage Hockey Facebook page, the skysportnext YouTube channel, or the FIH app, the tail of the tape here is the Māori women. Anything except a loss will get them into tomorrow's final. But for the Heritage Barbarians, they need the outright win to get there, and they're going to start having to push forward and search for that win, as the Māori team played a very good first 2 quarters of hockey and found themselves up 2-0, but it's a third quarter goal to the Barbarians, which has tightened things up leading into this final quarter. Seattle, they got some success in that third quarter, the Heritage Barbarians. Coach Hitindra will be stoked with that. What is he going to be asking further of his team this quarter?
Definitely the composure. To just stay calm when they are under pressure. You do get a little bit antsy when you are 1 down and you're trying to score that next goal. But if they maintain their composure and just keep up that good teamwork and putting that pressure on the ball carrier and pushing up high, they'll be good.
Yeah, and this is Goodsell-Matthews just saying able to get past the foot there of Tuhia Hohepa. Māoris on attack early in the quarter like they were in the third. And there's Goodsell-Matthews going to look for just a little entry down to the T-bar there. Brought in by Ruby Jane Meehan. And it's Leah Arthur Worsop. Just a pretty regulation save onto the boot there of Kalia Norton, who's been it's been good. Fortunately for her team, we haven't had to mention her too much in that third quarter.
No, we didn't.
But first 2, she's been immense in keeping this game even remotely as close as it is. So Amy Mitchell coming forward here. Won't be able to get past Rana Tamati. Emma Irwin comes forward, but only as far as Ackroyd, and it's thrown into the mixer there with the one person that's never going to stop running, and that's Rocio Gonzalez. She's linked up there with Gemma Jones on the ball. And this is Gonzalez, has Meehan in front of her. Meehan does fantastic work, but it's Gonzalez back again.
She definitely has just one gear, and that's go.
Yeah, Leah Arthur Worsop trying to roll the ball down to Nikayla Bradley, unable to bring it in. Yeah, if this Heritage Barbarians women side are able to level things up, it's certainly going to be on the back of effort plays from Gonzalez. That's a great entry. Great shot and fantastic save there by Kalia Norton. I said we didn't have to mention her much in the third quarter, but she stepped up twice there already for the Heritage Barbarians. Down come the Māoris on their left side entry. It is Amy Mitchell taking on Anna Tamati. Taylor Weatherly with the ball from the long corner there. She'll look to bash one in. Picked up again there by Kalia Norton, who's made the first save, got back to her feet. She's been immense here, Norton. And the Barbarian women come forward here. If they are to get the equaliser and go the distance here, it's going to be on the back of some excellent defensive work by Kalia Norton in goal. Game's starting to stretch out a little bit here. A little battle in the midfield between Hohepa and Hepi. They know each other well. Gemma Jones under duress from a couple of Māori women's players. Does enough there to earn her team the free hit, and they'll come forward, but only as far as Goodsall Matthews, as Jones is unable to link up with Jones. But it's Rosie Gonzalez again. An absolutely spirited effort here so far in this match for the Heritage Barbarians. Cedal, how good would either of us be if we had a gas tank like Rosie Gonzalez?
Oh, honestly, I'd be a black stick by now.
Absolutely. She's been phenomenal here for the Barbarians, and they will gain possession on the other side of the field there through Emma Irwin. And here it is. We saw this yesterday against the Pacifica team. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off for them as they did concede what was then the penalty stroke. But coaching staff for the Barbarians opting to take Kalia Norton off the field and add them an extra attacking player. Let's hope that they've talked about it a little more than they had yesterday. Remember, it is an empty goal for them now at the back for the Barbarians, but they should have an extra player moving forward, and this could be the extra player in Murphy Phillips, who has the ball outside Taylor Weatherly, earns the free hit. It's always a tough decision to make, especially when you have a goalkeeper that's playing so well like Kalia Norton, to take her off the field.
Absolutely.
But they're going to, like I said, they need the outright win, and nothing else will do it for them, the Barbarians, if they want to play in tomorrow's gold medal match. So it's caution to the wind. You can see there 4 strikers up in the press. But it's the Māoris almost able to link up, and it's something that they have employed right from the start of the game, is having good high strikers. And that's a danger when you've got an empty goal, is high strikers for the opposition, especially when the team can hit a long ball. As Gonzalez comes forward here through the tackle of McQuinn, who's found herself a long way up the field. Does well there, McQuinn up to Irwin. Irwin's got Meehan if she can link up, and just unable to pull it in there is Ruby Jane Meehan. Warning signs for the Heritage Barbarians without a goalkeeper in the cage.
Definitely. You can tell the game is starting to stretch out a bit more now too.
It's always a little bit of a worry when you look up and see Jazz McQuinn that high up the field. On the other side, she's going to want to not have to do too much defending here. She's pushed right up into the midfield for the Māoris. This is Arabella Irwin, just unable to get through Emma Irwin. And the Barbarians will come away with the ball. You can see they're just out of shot, that they've got 2 strikers pressed up nice and high. It is Murphy Phillips and Jess Jones. But well controlled there by Tyler Goodsall Matthews, linking up with Taylor Weatherly to come out for the Māoris. That's Arabella Irwin. I'd really look for a player on the ball there, Alicia Donovan and Rocio Gonzalez in the middle of the park for this Heritage Barbarians team. They're 2 players that can go forward quickly with the ball, and if they can unlock the likes of Phillips and Jones going forward, it could be dangerous. But this is Meehan on the ball. She dumps it off for Goodsall Matthews, who gets it back again to Meehan. Nice 2-on-1 play. And that's a fantastic goal there by Arabella Irwin. I did say it was an empty goal, and it was a big risk for the Heritage Barbarians, and that's a fantastic way to play against no goalkeeper. As you see, Ruby Meehan, fantastic 2-on-1 work here. They play Tamaki Makoto hockey together, Meehan and Goodsall Matthews, but it's this ball in here to the sliding reverse stick of Arabella Irwin. Absolutely phenomenal finish, and you know, when there's no goalkeeper in the cage, getting it into the mixer there creates opportunities, as Sarah Thomas comes forward here for the Māoris. It's going to make things really tough now for the Barbarians at 3-1. Cedar, you love to see a goal like that. Obviously, Kalia Norton will have wished she was in there just to boot that away, but
Absolutely.
it is a pretty finish for the Māoris.
There's definitely that counter-attack, and they're linking up with their players is quite well. The Māori players just know where each other are, and then have that faith to just send the ball and know that there will be someone there.
Yeah, it's a feature of strong game plans, is knowing where your players are likely to be or areas of the field that you're trying to get yourself into. So, you know, when Ruby Jane Meehan there is able to turn the corner on the 45 and just send one across the front of the goal, knowing that she's going to have players there, it makes the ability to play that style of hockey a lot easier. And Rosie Gonzalez does enough to earn herself a bit of a break there. I think she's probably done more than enough as the Barbarian women who try and continue to come forward. It is Rebecca Crump there, but only as far as Jazz McQuinn. McQuinn will be glad that her extra running up into the midfield wasn't to no avail. They've got themselves the goal. This is Tyler Goodsell-Matthews coming forward here with the ball. She's got Crump tailing her. And Chanel Woods-Edueda just does enough to roll it onto the foot there and win the free hit for the Barbarians. It is still 7.5 minutes, so game not over. They're going to need one fairly soon, the Barbarians, to continue that pressure, and it's certainly not out of the question. If any team knows about scoring 2 goals in the last couple of minutes, it's this Māori women's side. They'll just be hoping they're not on the wrong side of it this time.
Absolutely.
So Michaela Bradley chases the ball out to the left side for the Māori. She links up with Amy Mitchell, gets it back again, does Bradley. Onto the foot there of Chelsea Hepi, judged to be just inside the circle by umpire Tamara Dudley. And it will be the Māoris just to wear a little bit of time off the clock, which they'll be happy with here at the set piece. You can see Jazz McQuinn not as excited to get up for this corner. She's out the back having a good chat with her teammate and friend in Hui Arahanga Doyle back in the defensive quarter, but it will be the Māoris trying to extend this lead here. They've got Ackroyd on the bracket. Of course, the Barbarians without a goalkeeper, so they'll have 5 players in the goal. Messy there, but brought under control by Mitchell. And just sails past the stick there of Maya Wilson, who was in front of the goal, and the Barbarians trying to come out quickly here.
You can see out of frame they've got a high player.
Yeah, Donovan and Jones are both up the field for the Heritage Barbarians, and this is Donovan. She's got Jones in front of the goal if she can find her on the reverse stick. Instead she finds the danger there of Jazz McQuinn, who does a really good job of just staying in between the ball and the pass option, letting the goalkeeper Arahanga Doyle look after the goal, and turning the 2-on-1 into a favourable matchup for her. And this is Sarah Thomas coming forward with the ball. She's on the outside of Chelsea Hepi. It's a lovely bit of defensive work there by Hepi to slow down Sarah Thomas on the baseline entry. We're working into 5 minutes of play left here in this first game between the Heritage Barbarians and the New Zealand Māoris. Tyler Goodsell-Matthews just trying to put on a little bit of skill here around the edge of the circle. She's in unfamiliar territory, so just bails out to Amy Mitchell. Michaela Bradley up on the baseline. Will relieve a little bit of pressure here, so it's the Heritage Barbarians just bringing the ball up to their 16-yard hit. And unfortunately, I think for them, Seedle, they did all that good work in this fourth quarter, at the start of the fourth quarter, and unable to find the goal. But here is Jess Jones, has Alicia Donovan ahead of her. Donovan a little heavy on the receive, unfortunately. But they will keep the free hit if Donovan can go quickly. She's got Jazz McQuinn retreating. She's got Jones, and Jones has the goal there past Arahanga Doyle in goal. It was Donovan and Jones, the combo that we spoke about.
Definitely those quick balls is what the Heritage team needs to capitalise on, getting the Māori defence on the back foot. Yeah,
perhaps fortunate here to have won the free hit, but they make their own luck as Donovan finds Jones and Jones finds the goal, and it is 3-2 here. Māoris Here's the second wind, and speaking of players you don't want to see high up the field, Tuhi Hohepa's coming to put pressure on. She's dangerous if she can get the ball in front of goal. There's an obvious coaching decision here by the Barbarians. But Orewa Hepi comes forward and she can link up with Sarah Thomas. Sarah Thomas, who might have the greatest dive in all of the women's tournament. Almost very nearly bringing the ball in on the baseline there for the Māoris. But as I said, the Heritage Barbarians have opted to push Tuhia Hohepa up the field. An absolute goal-scoring threat if they can get the ball to her. And this is Hohepa with the ball. She's got Phillips in front of her. This is Phillips on the ball. And Micah Ackroyd just cool and calm, nice and low there. All stick on the ball, but Rosie Gonzalez has other things to say. She comes forward outside Amy Mitchell, down to her familiar 3D spot. Well saved there by Hui Arahanga Doyle on the first shot by Rosie Gonzalez, and it was a second save needed there as Emily Carlson put a bit of pressure on the second shot. Under 3 minutes here. It's Rosie Gonzalez. Good strong work though by Arabella Irwin. Will only get as far as the sideline, and it's the Barbarians still with possession. Though the score is 3-2, the Barbarians are actually going to need 2 goals here if they're to get through to tomorrow's final. This is Arana Tamati just straightening things up. Attempting to go down Main Street, just judged a little bit too dangerous. You can see the desperation from the Barbarians. They go and get the ball for the Māoris here in these last passages. Just 2 minutes to go here. They're up high. Remember, they've got no goalkeeper on, so they're pressing as high as they can. And they've got the turnover here through Tamati. She's being chased by Amy Mitchell. Does well, Tamati. There's the ball forward. Looking for Phillips, just unable to link up. The ball bouncing over her stick over the baseline. Jazz McQuinn on the ball has Tyler Goodsell-Matthews, but she's got Emily Carlson breathing down her neck. She's going to try and play the last two. And Emily Carlson just gives away the free hit there with a swinging stick, and you can see Tuhia Hohepa already on a reverse press for the Heritage Barbarians. Unable to be brought in there by Trinell Woods-Erueta. Sets Nikayla Bradley off down the field. It's a 2-on-1 with an open goal. And it's Sarah Thomas, who has been so good in front of goal for the Māoris, just unable to bring it in there. But perhaps can breathe a sigh of relief with the ball at the other end of the field. Barbarians still with 2 high strikers here and a minute to play if they want the equaliser. Jess Weck's going to have to find her teammates quickly. It's great work there by Captain Orewa Hepi just to intercept, but unforced error there. They'll come forward through Rosie Gonzalez, just a little too far away from where the infringement occurred, but she gets it back anyway. She's going to have to get around Ackroyd and Hepi. She can't believe the call there of umpire Sarah Cox. It was her opportunity to come forward, and it probably will spell the end of the match here for the Māoris. Amy Mitchell just content to dribble the ball out for the final 15 seconds. And that will be the final hooter of fourth quarter action between the New Zealand Māori and the Heritage Barbarians in what was an absolutely cracking first game here, day 3 of the New Zealand Heritage Hockey Tournament. Seattle, a game that lived up to its expectations, was fast, was furious, was led by high press and fast strikers. What did you like most about this Māori women's side that put them over the edge this morning?
Just how calm they were throughout the whole game, especially when it got a little bit flustered and antsy in the second part of that last quarter. They were just able to maintain composure and just keep playing to their game plan and keep going, and I think that's what helped settle them in getting that last goal.
Yeah, you can see a couple of really experienced players there in Jazz McQuinn and Orewa Hepi there, especially for the New Zealand Māori women's team, just when the pressure gets put on, able to calm things down. And yes, they can attack with speed and they can go fast, but just having that leadership on field there just settles things down when they need it. It wasn't without scare, as we do see some of the highlights. This Heritage Barbarian women's side, they don't die wondering, and it was work from Gonzalez, from Alicia Donovan, Jess Jones, Gemma Jones, and Emily Carlson that got them going forward there, and they very nearly did it. What interests you most about the way that they played today?
Just their will to never give up. You can tell, especially in that last part of that last quarter, that was all Barbarians wanting and to dig it in and trying to get the ball moving and going up the front.
Yeah, often discouraging when you take your goalkeeper off and concede a goal to try and continue digging in, but they did exactly that, and it's a side with no shortage of effort there as they continued to press forward. They did get the second goal they were after. Unfortunately, it did come after the third from the Māoris, but really good effort there from the Barbarians, and this was the third goal for the Māoris. Absolutely cracking finish there by Arabella Irwin, which did just put things probably a little too far out of the reach of the Heritage Barbarians. Like I said, they did continue forward, but when you're chasing 2 goals in a short period of time and you know you've got no goalkeeper on, it's a tough mountain to climb.
Absolutely.
They did well. Their defensive efforts were phenomenal, I think, especially in that first 2 quarters. The work of Kalia Norton in goal for the Heritage Barbarians really set them up to have an opportunity at the end to perhaps get there. She'll be pleased with her work today. You're never that happy with conceding a couple of goals as a goalkeeper, but the work that she did do gave her team every opportunity to be in that game.
Definitely without her, the scoreboard would look a lot different, but she had a phenomenal game, and she's been playing really well this whole weekend.
Yeah, so it is the Māori women who will advance to tomorrow's final to defend their title. They were last year's winners at the Heritage Hockey Tournament, and they will be back in the big dance tomorrow here at Colmar Sports Centre at Papatoetoe. If you are around the Auckland area, make sure you do get down. We've got 3 more games today, and then all of the medal matches coming up tomorrow, Easter Monday here in New Zealand. It was first game of the day between the New Zealand Māoris and the Heritage Barbarians. Big game, awesome effort, and like I said, it will be the Māori women that go through to tomorrow's final. What do you think is going to be key for them, Seedle, tomorrow to continue the dominance that they showed today?
Definitely the maintaining the composure, and their linking up when they did will be awesome. It will be a lot tougher against the likes of Carissa and Storm and those ladies in the Pacifica team.
Yeah, so they will match up with the Pacifica women tomorrow for the Heritage Hockey Final. There was a very obvious ploy at the start of today's game in having a high striker and keeping, it was Sarah Thomas who started the game in that role for the Māoris, giving them an option going forward. But when you are now going against the likes of Carissa Markia, Torian Kailavao, Storm Dolan Robson as those defenders, they're going to have to be very clinical in the way they go forward if they're going to reap the same rewards that they did today. But it is Tina Balkake. She's a fantastic coach and obviously an incredible player in her time, so I'm sure she will have plenty of ideas and options for them for tomorrow's game.
Absolutely, yeah. She'll definitely have a game plan for tomorrow.
Yeah, and they'll be pleased with their continued improvement over the weekend. Obviously went down in the first game to the Pacifica women, and they'll look for revenge in tomorrow's gold medal match. And I am joined in commentary again by Rosie Gonzalez from the Heritage Barbarians. Rosie, I almost feel like I'm Argentinian the number of times I had to say your name in that commentary. You were absolutely everywhere, attacking right, then you were helping defensively left, and then you had the baseline entry on the left, and not through lack of effort. How was that out there?
First, quiero mandar un beso a mi mamá, a mi hermano, a mi tía, a Enrique, mi novio, mis amigos que están en Hawke's Bay mirándome, y a Argentina un beso muy grande. Yes, it was a tough game.
Absolutely, and it's day
Heaps
three
of running.
Yeah, it's day 3 of tournament, and running's probably the last thing you want to do, but you just don't stop. You're everywhere on the field there, and a lot of that fight back, and I know it's tough coming up at 2-0 down at half-time, but a lot of the fight back came on the back of the work of you guys just keep putting in effort, and effort was outstanding out there today from your team.
Yeah, I think that we knew that today was our final. We we was 2-0 in the half court, and after the second, like we said, like we need to go, and we try our best. I think it was a good game in the end. We fight the whole game. We couldn't like finish the way we wanted, but I'm really proud of the team and the effort everyone put on.
Yeah, that third quarter especially, you guys really came out firing. I guess you will have gone into the halftime break and just said, you know what, we have to win the game. We're not going to win it by defending, and we're just going to have to go at it. So, it's the likes of some of your younger players, Jess Jones, Alicia Donovan, Emily Carlson, who were really good going forward in your high press. And when you and your midfield were able to support them, there were certainly some rewards there to be found. And the first goal was a lovely one. It was nice to get the second one, but probably a little bit too late.
Yes. I think the first half we attacked a lot, but we didn't have the outcomes we wanted. I think in the second half we could we had some PCs and we had like good chances as well. So I think like overall we like improve a lot, but we couldn't do it.
Look, it's one of those games where you're not walking off the field disappointed in effort and in energy. Yeah, I think you guys threw absolutely everything at that Māori team, and they were classy enough to repel as much as they did. And I do just want to make one mention of you guys' goalkeeper, Kalia Norton, who I thought was absolutely fantastic in her time on the field this morning.
Yeah, she has been like amazing the 3 games. Like she really like make a huge difference for us. Like I think all the games it wasn't like the same score if she wasn't on goal.
Yeah.
Like she was absolutely amazing, and she's so young. She has a really good future.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is exactly what Heritage Hockey Tournament breeds. It has experienced players like yourself playing alongside. I think she's only 15, Kalia Norton, and she's stepping up into senior hockey. So it's an awesome tournament. We are so pleased to have you here, and I hope you've enjoyed it so far this weekend. Big game tomorrow. Good luck for that one, and we will see you then.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rosie. That was Rocio Gonzalez. I don't know how she still has breath to speak after all the running she's just been doing in that match between the New Zealand Māoris and the Heritage Barbarians. New Zealand Māoris coming away with the victory there, 3-2 at the end of regulation, which will put them into tomorrow's final against New Zealand Pacifica. And I am joined in commentary by Huia Arahanga Doyle, the goalkeeper for one of the 2 goalkeepers for the New Zealand Māori women's team. Huia, a big game. You needed that one for tomorrow's medal match. It was a good first half, and you guys really started to put pressure on right from the start. And it looked like an obvious ploy to have a high striker from the start of the game, just to open things up. I know you needed to win that one and get goals early. How did the plan go? How did it look? How did it work?
Yeah, I think our game plan was to always stretch our opposition, and that way our strength is a lot of our midfield. So if we can transfer the ball, move our point of attack, then it allows our strikers to move nice and high and get good ball to them, really. Yeah,
and I spoke to Oriwa yesterday, and she said the same thing. Just strengthening up the midfield allows some of those younger legs up the front to really go and play, and likes of Sarah Thomas and Arabella Irwin, who both scored goals today, just able to receive the ball a little higher up the field and really trouble the back defenders of the Heritage Barbarians. Now, you'll see a lot of the game from the back. How did you enjoy what the shape looked like? What went well for your team? What are you going to want to improve for tomorrow's game?
Especially in that second half, we tried to do a half-court press. Didn't work at all, and that's what happens when you come together as a new team, new personnel. You don't know anyone, but that's definitely going to be one of our work-ons. Full court press. I mean, the cool thing about our team is we've got young legs, so they can run. They can run all day. So it's definitely one of our positives that we can take out of that game. Yeah,
absolutely, and it's. I mentioned a well-coached side. Tina Valkaki will be drawing up plans, and you guys have the experience, and the likes of yourself and Jazz McQuinn, who control from the middle back and allow your strikers to just play with the flair that they have, which is exciting. Now, what are the keys going to be facing this strong Pacifica women's side tomorrow?
You know, I wasn't here for the game against Pacifica, but I think it's just going to be playing our own style of hockey. I heard we fell a lot into their game plan, so if we can play our own style and execute it well, it's a simple game. If we track, pass, do the simple things well, we'll win the game.
Yeah, and it was it was an absolutely cracking first game of tournament, the Pacifica Women Maori Women's game, which went right down to the last moments. The Maori women scoring twice in the final 2 or 3 minutes. So hopefully you don't leave it till that time tomorrow. We wish you all the very best in your preparation and your game tomorrow. Good luck for the final.
Ngā mihi, Brad.
Thanks, we are. All right, and that is final scenes there between the New Zealand Māoris and the Heritage Barbarians. An absolutely cracking first game on day 3 of the Heritage Hockey Tournament. New Zealand Māori team coming away with the victory 3-2 and booking themselves a spot in tomorrow's final against the Pacifica Women. For those of you joining us on the Heritage Hockey Facebook page, on the Sky Sport Next YouTube channel and on the FIH app, we'll be back with the second women's game of the day between the Pacifica Women and the Indian Women, live from 12 o'clock.